So welcome everyone to the 10th inning here for Game 4 of this series between the Bandits and the Bite. Bite currently leading it 2-1, and everything's been going pretty good for us. So I'll quickly give you the lineups because we're just about at game time. For the Bandits, Anaka stays at centre field, Dutton's at second base, Roberts at right field, Clark DHs in this game, David Sullivan still at first base, Logan Wade at third base, Campbell at left field, Battaglia jumps behind the disc to catch, Schoenberger at shortstop, and Chunt Lofgren is pitching. And for the Bite, Melendrez goes back out to centre field, Josh Cakebread at second base, Steph Welsh at third base, G-Man Choi's DHing, Paquette at right field, Justin Howard comes into first base, Ben Lodge in left field, Dylan Child catching, Jeremy Creswell jumps back out to shortstop, and we see the debut for the Bite tonight of Shonji Kim, which should be very exciting. And I'm very lucky to have a couple of magnificent South Australian coaches and Australian coaches in Ron Harvey and Brian Cakebread with me. And I know you can't both talk at once, gentlemen, but it's very nice to have you both here.
Andrew, it's great to be here, and you've got a sensational view, and the audience stays with you. You're going to see a great game in this fourth game.
Absolutely, and Brian, your boy out there, and no doubt running the emotions of being a father, but also a baseball lover. So how's it all travelling with you?
Yeah, he seems to have slotted in pretty well. He's had a couple of years overseas in independent baseball in the Roswell Invaders, so I think that's been really good for his game, especially in his hitting department. So yeah, it's always hard to sit back and watch your own kids play, I guess, a little bit, but he does a pretty good job, so I'm pretty proud of him.
And what about, just in a few words, both of your feelings on how the Bite is shaping up at this minute?
Well, sorry, Rod. Yeah, well, we're both going to jump in there. Well, they look a little bit better in that last game, I suppose. They're starting to put it together a little bit. Initially, they didn't have their imports here on time, and things went a little bit astray, but, you know, they've won 3 games now, and they're looking a little bit better, I feel.
And Ronnie?
Yeah, look, I think if you judge them on what we had here the last 2 years, you could be fairly negative. But these guys are at a different stage of their professional career. They're developing their skills, whereas last year we had the guys that were going somewhere. So you can't be too critical. They've improved.
They sure will, and we're just about ready for our first pitch here, and a great deal of expectation with Kim. He's very highly rated, and watching him in the pen, he looks like he's got a fair bit to offer. So Anaka leading off for the Bandits and has a massive swing at a first pitch. How are his couple of catches last night? They excite you at all?
A guy that's got plenty of wheels obviously is going to run the ball down, and he sort of makes it pretty easy because he's quicker than lightning.
He sure is. We saw even in the previous game where he hit a ground ball to Josh at second base, and he hustled up that line, and it was a boom-boom play on a fairly routine out, so he has got some wheels.
I thought he was going to time him a little bit getting to first base, and he just nearly didn't get him.
Yeah. So he grounds out.
I understand that he's a reasonably big bonus baby too. The club that he signed, I think it's with Seattle, is it not?
I'm not 100%
yeah, I think
sure.
He signed for big dollars.
So Kim comes a little into Dutton.
Probably a good thing to do early in the innings, establish the inside part of the plate. Don't let him dig in.
Dutton's one of the tough outs on this ball club. He won't give up without a battle. I have a lot of respect for this kid as a ball player.
I guess the ball's going to be hard to judge out there at right field with the sun in the right fielder's eyes.
Kim gets one straight back to him. It crept through the glove and just got a little bit behind him, so he picked it up and threw it wildly to first base. So Dutton gets a free ride around to second.
I guess it's one of those fundamentals. When the ball goes back to the pitcher, you get your feet under you, pick up your target and throw the ball. Neither of those, I don't think.
Sitting with a couple of pretty stringent coaches here, so if there's a lot of kids sitting out there, you'll learn some lessons here, so tune in and have your ears open.
No, there's no doubt about it. If you do your fundamentals right, you've got a better chance to win than if you don't.
So Josh Roberts rolls over on that one. Catebread has to come in and get it, which he does, and does well for the second out for the bite.
That's a reasonable sort of play. He nearly did it as good as what his dad used to do it.
I don't think there's any comparison, Brian. I think Josh is a much better ball player than you. That's why they shift you to third base.
And Cody Clark, you'd have to be impressed with him as a guy that's caught every game up until now and DHing, but hitting in the 4 hole and been superb in this series.
Yeah, he's going somewhere, this guy.
Just that time here at Norwood Oval with the sun setting, and as Brian said, very difficult on the right side of the diamond here, and need a lot of skill to shield that sun and keep your eye on the ball as Clark swings through one.
Just looking at Ben Lodge at right field there, he's trying to find a spot where he can actually see the ball going to the plate. He's sort of squinting and putting the glove up and the hand up so he can get a beat on the ball that comes his way.
And you know really well the ball's going to go there.
Every time.
Oh, and Kim with a lovely slider says goodbye to Clark, and that completes the top of the first. We'll be back in a moment. So welcome back everyone. Bottom of the first here, no score from the Bandits in the top of the inning. And Nathan Melendra is leading off for the bite, and boys, you'd have to be impressed with him. He looks solid and a real ball player.
I haven't seen enough of him, Andrew, but you know, keep an eye on what he's doing because obviously he's got talent.
He looks like he's found his feet in the last couple of 3 games. It's pretty tough coming from America and then dropping straight into a team, and he doesn't know anything about the surroundings or anything else. But he looks like he's got his feet on the ground now. He's playing pretty good back.
Probably had a month or 2 off, perhaps.
He would have, yeah.
The conditions for hitting at the moment are just terrible. You've got the shade coming across and the ball's coming from light into darkness, so it's very tough to pick up.
As you know, in the minor leagues, it's a big grind for these guys, you know, guys like Stephen Wells. They come back, they need a bit of a rest.
So Lofgren gets Melendres to ground a shortstop, and Schoenberger attacked it and couldn't quite get a handle on things and made a bit of an error.
Well, he did the right thing. He tried to come and get it, but the ball just hopped at the wrong stage.
And that brings us to the right. Second baseman, Josh Cambridge.
We can also speak with these boys because they do a lot of work on our field. They're very diligent, magnificent supporters of the Bite and work tirelessly in lots of aspects. And
I was going to say that the field looks impeccable. The ground field must be pretty darn good.
yeah, they are good. So Josh Cakebread bunts Melendres to second base, and with no one at third, in a very heads up.
That's a lesson for young kids. Don't be happy with one base, you look for another after that. That was great base running.
That's what happens when you're aggressive. You create something out of nothing. That certainly happened there because they were all confused on that play.
There's just no substitute for speed on bases. It's a powerful weapon. You know, momentum in the game of baseball is incredibly important, and right now you've just seen the Bite with the momentum, and you know, we look at Brisbane and see how they come back at the other part of the innings.
It's always a tough combination. Left-handed pitcher to a left-handed hitter. It's always tough. So Stefan's probably pretty much used to it, being in the pros for quite a few years now, so he'll be on his game on this one, I guess. Maybe not. Struck it
There's
out.
a great example of it, just a beautifully located pitch. And
you're looking for role models. Stephen Welsh is definitely a role model. I've got a lot of time for the kid. He'll speak to every kid that comes up with him with the same passion that he speaks to his own parents.
Please make welcome to the plate, the designated hitter, G-Man Troy.
He looks like he's got very good hand-eye coordination and knows where his zone is and can hit most pitches by the look of it, whether it be breaking or fastball. Probably why he's professional.
he's a good signing at 460 grand or something like that.
Yeah.
PK.
Well, that, you know, these days they don't hand that sort of money out willy-nilly, so obviously he's got a little bit in the bank.
And it's fantastic to think that a gentleman like that can be here playing in our league. Certainly still developing and growing and needing some extra at-bats and some experience, but
Well, they love their baseball in career as well.
Don't you think it's amazing? On some swings, some of these guys look really ordinary, and then they just turn it around and go bang, and the ball's gone.
and I've been struggling with a bit of depth here because looking like from the way they hit it, they didn't quite get it, and they're driving the ball and one bounce into the fence. So, yeah, you certainly can't underestimate their ability.
You got it right there, Andrew. They just drive the ball hard. Well, he just drove the bat hard, so...
As Choi throws the bat to second base and in turn strikes out, and that completes the first inning. So we'll have a short break and we'll be back in a moment.
The Adelaide Light would like to thank SA Power Networks, our naming rights sponsor. SA Power Networks are a proud South Australian company that plays a leadership role in community involvement and has a proud reputation as a significant corporate citizen in South Australia. Tonight is sponsored by SA Power Networks. Please put your
I'll just get to the microphone and say, right are you?
Like that.
I hope it's not on. Is it's not on? Right are you, motherfuckers? This is it.
Yeah, because I think it mainly picks up the voice in through there. The distance is okay, but I think it's the direction. So if you can speak straight into it, and then you do that. So it's coming over okay though. So keep it up, guys.
He's a hard man. He's a very solid producer, and
Normally when I sit, I have one of the earphones with the thing around here. This go Australia what?
17 countries we reach.
Oh, right.
So welcome back, everyone. No doubt we've got some Brisbane viewers out there, and we'd love to hear from you. We always stay interactive with you, and you know how to get us at live baseball at the10thinnings.com.au. So send us a message, say good day. Always great to hear from you. Two gentlemen I've got with me here are also a very big part of the Colts Baseball Academy and been very kind to support us, the 10th inning here, in our endeavour to provide a broadcast and telecast of this great game. So we thank them greatly, and we'll have more of a chat as we go along as Kim delivers a ball to Big Dave Sutherland. You know the might and power of Dave. He's a very solid player as he wraps one into centre right, and that again is going to go to the fence as Big Goofy rolls around first and stands up at second. Beautiful piece of hitting.
I understand, Andrew, that this is going to quite a few countries in the world. Is that correct? Am I assuming that?
That is correct. We have a little, I suppose, a summary after every evening as to how many people we've tuned in with and where they've come from and etc. And yeah, we've reached 23 countries, but we generally have about 17. And hello to a lot of the parents at home, the Fuses that we've spoken to, and others that are sitting home watching their kids and knowing they're here in Australia safe and sound and happy as Wade shapes to bunt to get Goofy to third base and increase their chances to score a run.
There may be some of my friends in America. I've got quite a few over there. They might be lucky enough to be on air while I'm here at the moment. So a big cheerio to them if they're actually out there listening.
Let them know who you're talking to out there.
Especially some guy in Canada. I've actually got a friend coming from Canada in 2 weeks' time that I played college baseball with and university baseball. So Bill Stebbings is his name, and hopefully he may be listening to this. I know that at the moment he's probably in New Zealand because I know he's in Australia and he went to his wife's sister's wedding. So at the moment I think they're in New Zealand, but we'll catch up with him in a couple of weeks.
Oh, look, it's really quite an amazing thing, and we are a fraction overawed, to be quite honest, that we're reaching out so much. It's an absolute pleasure to bring it to you, and you've been so generally kind in your words for us with regards to our streaming and broadcast, and we continue to offer variety, and to have the two guys up with me tonight, it's a real pleasure. And upon saying that Brian Cakebread was the first Australian coach to ever coach in the United States of America, and that in itself is absolutely unbelievable. And maybe you could just, whilst we've got some little breaks in between, tell us a little bit about that, when it was and how it sort of eventuated, etc. as Kim gets a strike on hitter Campbell.
Sure, it happened way back in the days of the 60s when I went to the United States, and then actually I'm in the Australian Ampol Book of Records because I was the first Australian to go to university in the United States and actually play baseball. So I was actually the pioneer for all of these guys that go over and play college baseball. Not so much professional baseball, because there was a few guys before my time that played professional baseball, and guys like Dick Shirt, and Kevin Greatrex here from Adelaide had done that. But went to university and then eventually played a year of pro ball for Kansas City and then moved on to coaching college baseball. So, I mean, it's been a long journey, and you think back and it seems like a lifetime ago that it was done, but it's all good.
Campbell rips that one around the corner into right field for a base hit and advancing his runner. So we've got runners on first and second here for the Bandits with one out. And Ryan Battaglia, who's been a little short on some game time this season, but I know you boys would know a little bit about Ryan.
Yeah, I've seen him in a lot of the junior programs at National Series, and he can play. He's a tough competitor.
And Brian, you were saying that you were, you know, the first over there, and with being such a massive game in the States, was there any sort of, you know, not reluctance for you being there, or any hurdles that you had to jump as being an Australian, or was it sort of exciting and they were really eager to have you? And was it tough, or did you find it a good journey?
It was tough to begin with because baseball was played completely different back in those days than what we played it here. So my learning curve was pretty steep. So it took me my first year to get my feet on the ground, and then after that I was okay. But local people or any American people sort of open arms to you. No problem with that, and just really enjoyed a lot of company of the players and the people, and they couldn't do enough for you.
As that ball gets through Dylan Child, and both runners advance to second and third, and another little important aspect of baseball by getting themselves out of a forced situation, and also making the defensive side make some decisions as to how they want to actually play this. So they're playing back and just looking for an out, feeling that Kim has got the goods to get the job done for them.
The things that just happened there with the catcher, that's why coaches tear their hair out. They've been fighting to preserve the double play, those sort of things, and a lazy bit, ball goes to the backstop. They're trying to be lucky to get out of this.
As Ryan takes a pitch that looked straight down the middle and didn't offer much to it, and strikes out. So that's the second out on the Bandits, and brings to the plate their shortstop Alan Schoenberger. And what was your greatest highlight, Brian? What you know, really sticks in the mind as something to think, wow, you know, you either had a big day out, or even just perhaps to have, you know, got a game somewhere where it was just something really special, as that ball's drilled to third base and Welsh, and he had to wear one on the body, which he does because he's such a solid performer. And even though it looked a bit of a foregone conclusion, Creswell still picked it up and had a crack at first, but not enough to allow Wade to cross the plate for the Bandits' first run.
What I will say is that if any young player out there is wanting to go and play in the United States, is to get your schooling done in high school and then go to college over there, whether it be a junior college or a 4-year school. And the people that you meet are lifelong friends. I mean, baseball is a big business over there, and baseball is huge around the world, but really baseball is a small fraternity, and you make friends for life.
You're probably being a little bit modest. I did ask for something really like a massive highlight, and I know meeting people, it perhaps is the highlight, and I don't want to take that away from you because it's enormous, but surely there was a day out somewhere.
Well, actually, I really enjoyed playing my career, you know, in the United States. I lived there for 8 years, and that was fantastic because everything revolved around baseball, and so it was a big learning curve, good playing curve, good coaching curve. So any particular highlights? No, I think the whole package still was great. And if any other young kid out there is thinking about doing it, well, to me it's the way to go. And you get seen, if they have aspirations about being a professional baseballer, there's the place to go and to be seen.
Yeah, I think we all sit in awe here in our lounge room, and watch our Foxtel and watch the Major League, and just, I mean, that World Series in my, I mean, haven't watched every game, but it was just such high quality. It was incredible. Even some of the teams that bowed out, they played fantastic baseball, and it took everyone to be right on their game to get through and continue to compete. We've got a great email here from Luke Jans, who's a Brisbane guy. Hi guys, my name is Luke, a Brisbane fan. Awesome coverage by you, should be so proud. Hopefully the game can get more TV time in the future in Australia, especially since there is some awesome talent out there. So thanks a lot, Luke, for your feedback. Always lovely to hear positive feedback, and it's a pleasure to bring it to you, so thank you. So Kim gets one inside to Dutton.
Ryan, how important was Bobo Brayton to you breaking into the American scene?
Oh, well, he had a lot to do with it, because he came out here in 1968, I think it was. No, 67. And he had some clinics out here for Australian baseball players, and he virtually said to me, well, you look like you got a bit of talent, so why don't you come and play in the United States? Well, I didn't need to be asked twice, so I did it. And from there it just snowballed. I don't know if Bobo's still going these days, but he was a fantastic coach at the University of Washington in Pullman, and he's an actual legend there in American baseball. So if he's listening, hello, man.
And before we have a short break, and I can't get him to talk about himself, but I remember as a 50-year-old man, Brian, playing still A-grade baseball and still being one hell of a hitter, so we might get some more out of him a bit later. We'll have a short break, we'll be right back.
Moving on to the Adelaide Park, Ethan.
So welcome back, everyone. Boys, can you believe it? I've been offering up some Franklin batting gloves for 2 nights in a row, and I can't get a taker. So I'm going to have another crack at you out there and see if I can get something happening. That on our webpage that you're viewing perhaps at the moment, we've got a scoreboard on there. If you can tell me what scoreboard that is, you'll pick up yourself up a pair of Franklin batting gloves. So come on, folks, don't let me down. It's been hard work up here. Had a couple of near misses, but I'm determined to give 3 pair of batting gloves away. So Ethan Paquette, who snuck into the bite side about a week ago, he just came from nowhere and put a first pitch over the left field fence. And if you were watching then, that's exactly what he does. He leaves nothing in the tank and he goes after it, and he's already produced some good solid hitting.
You know, as a young kid, Andrew, I can remember coming out here and watching Ian Chappell play. You talk about tough competitors in the game of baseball. He was one of the toughest. No one is given, and he would jump all over if he could.
Yeah, well, I know some boys, our Brewers team that go up and play in the Masters, and they played against basically an all-star side as Paquette strikes out. It had Australian pitches and Chapel and so on and so on. They were very hard to beat. The boys said even at however old they were, it was highly competitive and not an inch asked for and not one given. So, and he played his other game, cricket, exactly the same way. He was a mean competitor. But you've got to love that as an Aussie. I mean, he also would have a beer and a chat and have a bit of fun afterwards, but when you crossed the line, you took whatever came your way. As Howard rolls over on one and Dutton makes a routine little out.
All of those Chapel boys were good at baseball, including Greg and Ian. I remember playing against them as a kid. They were both cricket and baseball. Man, they took no prisoners at all, so they were really tough at what they did, and they still are.
And how's his boy going at the moment? Because I know he was on the road to some good baseball stories. Greg's lad that was playing for Canberra, and
he played a few years in the States, and I don't know what happened to him. He just fell off the map, I think. But we have no idea.
As Ben Lodge gets a base hit into left field.
Maybe Greg's listening and send us a text and find out what actually happened to his son.
And Lodge safely forward at first base. Now batting, the catcher, Dylan Child.
So Dylan Child has been platooning behind the dish with Chris Adamson. Both of the boys doing a pretty good job for a couple of young men as he takes the ball. So a 1-1 ball game here in the bottom of the second inning.
The second baseman I see is just indicating to the third baseman, if you get a ground ball, don't throw it to me because I can't see anything. He's pointing to throw the ball to first to get an out because he says it looks like he's not going to get it.
Yeah, there's some real sort of shadow lines just going through second base, and if you got caught in the sun's rays, you are no chance. So it is, again, you underestimate the quality of these guys, because even infield players are throwing at quite a velocity. So you have to be on your toes and have to be very skilled.
If you're familiar with Norwood Oval, there's a gap in the stands and the sun just beams through there. I can remember talking to Phil Dale one day. He said that right-handers hated pitching in the twilight out here because of the sun.
This Child has a big swing and a miss at that one to even the count at 2-2. Gets one off the handle a little, and it's a routine little force out at second base. So that completes the second inning. The score remains at 1 apiece. And while we've got a little bit of an opportunity here, I'm just going to talk about what both of the gentlemen here are involved in the Colts Baseball Academy. And I've got my little script here, but I probably don't need it on this occasion because I know enough about it to have a chat with you, and generally sort of aimed at the younger fellas at perhaps 8 to 12 and really honing in on the basic fundamentals of this game. So, Ron, perhaps you can sort of talk to us a little bit about this.
The Colts Baseball Academy really came out of a discussion that Brian and I had one night about how much we'd got out of baseball ourselves and the love affair that has been going over 40 years. So we decided that what we would do is start the Colts Baseball Academy and help prepare young kids for the love affair of baseball and the long road that they can enjoy with it. We really get onto the skills, and we're looking at the grassroots kids that are not necessarily going to be state players, but just want to play baseball at a club level. The various state academies look after the gifted players. We're looking after the kids at the grassroots.
And what sort of coaching have you got there for them? I know Peter Fisher, yourself, Ron Harvey, Brian Cakered, so you guys generally do most of the on-field stuff with the boys?
Yeah, in the winter time we normally go indoors, and we've got the seating facility, and we do all the fundamentals of infield and outfield and hitting and bunting and the various aspects of the fundamentals of the game. So we try not to miss anything, and then we usually have about a 12-week session which goes twice a week. And some of the kids that have come out have absolutely improved out of sight, and they just love it. So if we could get more kids involved, that'd be great, and baseball could only benefit from it. So we're looking for more kids to come out and do it.
You can probably see Chomper running around tonight. I happen to know that the young boy in there is Jack Shear, who was one of our graduates first year of state under-16 selection, so that's great to see.
So if you'd like to know a little bit more about the Colts Baseball Academy, just go to www.coltsbaseballacademy.org.au. It is absolutely a fantastic little enterprise by the gentleman, and really you should be getting behind it as Kim continues to power away for the Adelaide Bite. Josh Roberts, a mainstay of the Bandits lineup, swinging from the left and playing right field. As Kim delivers, and that ball is popped into left field, causing a little bit of strife, and it lands fair just inside the line. And again, although he didn't quite make it to second, he rounded that base and was 2/3 of the way, and realised he wouldn't get there, but also realised that his first baseman wasn't on the bag either, so he was able to dash his way back to first, and nothing ventured, nothing gained, but very aggressive base running from Josh.
Brings to the plate, the designated hitter, Cody Clark.
One of the other things we've got, Andrew, is in our academy, which is a sideline. It's not actually for the players that come out of the academy, but we've got a trip overseas to the United States, and we're looking for boys that are between 16 and up, and we take a team to the United States, and we have a cultural exchange with Americans, and we play games over there, and they get to see some of the country, and it's really a worthwhile trip and an eye-opener for a lot of the kids. So we're looking forward to getting some people on the list for that as well.
Absolutely, it's a one in a lifetime, and something that, as I said, if you're any interest at all, please jump in either on our website to find the contact details, or get onto that website that I just gave you. So with none out here in the top of the third, and a runner on first for the Bandits. Kim puts one outside in the dirt, which is well handled by Child, and those little things that Ron was talking about before with supporting the pitcher and knowing that he can throw a pitch that may not be exactly where he wants, but he's going to get support and it will be kept in front. It means so much to a pitcher. It makes him throw the ball with confidence. And when you see a pitcher really on song, it's a delight to see. And Kim, both pitchers doing a great job at the moment for their respective sides. So Cody Clark, who's having a bit of a rest from catching tonight and filling the DH slot, still in the 4-hole, prepares from Kim. He goes hard inside for ball 3. The sun is slowly setting here, and in about 20 minutes we will have perfect conditions as Kim fires a fast ball and gets a much needed strike. 3-1 count with none out here. Kim from the set. Runners moving. And Clark's hit one off the handle into left field, which lands also. So Roberts advances to second on the hit, and Clark picks up another base hit, and regardless that it was off the handle and a broken bat, when you're on fire and swinging the bat, they're the sorts of things that happen for you.
Put that one in the pot belly stove because it's done, that one. Hey, they all look like line drives in the book, so. Like the Brisbane Bears a bit threatening at the moment with nobody out and 2 on. Bandits, sorry.
Be interesting to see what the manager might have up his sleeve here with Dave Sutherland at the plate, and looks like he's hitting away.
Some activity in the pen for the bite.
Well, this kid used to be an ex-pro, so he's got a bit of knowledge about hitting and that. Actually a fairly good hitter. Big tall guy.
As he takes a strike to even the count at 1-1, and Kim, having only just not long been in the country, is on a bit of a short leash, and no doubt if he could get 3 out of him, a good solid 3, and he's heading that way, it'd be a nice little start for Shonji Kim as he sets and delivers again with a change up that Sutherland drives out to left field, but taken out there quite comfortably by Ben Lodge.
Well, that makes it a handy out because now you get a ground ball, they can get a double play and out of the inning, and he should be keeping the ball down so that can occur. Amazing how the ball game changed just like that with a double play. I mean, they're threatening right now, but ground ball will get them right out of trouble.
So Kim, again, a pitch that seemed he took a little bit off, and Lodge again gets under it a fraction, but accepts it easily for the second out.
That's 2 away. Now batting.
Both left hand is just getting jammed a little bit, and which is great location of pitching by Kim to hit the right spots at the right time.
Well, he must have something going there because he's had 4 balls go to left field and that ball not being hit all that good. So he must have something on the ball, a bit of movement or whatever coming back into the handle of the bat.
So Andrew Campbell, who just needed to take a breath and rethink, just ask for time, and it is granted. He steps back in the box. 2 out here, top of the 3rd inning, 1 apiece at the minute, and Kim delivers nice slider or hard curveball for a strike. Crowd building beautifully here for a magnificent Saturday night here in Adelaide, and he follows suit with a replica pitch for strike 2. So a 1-2 count on Campbell. Runners gathering some cobwebs at first and second. They haven't been able to move them around. At the end of the game, the manager looks and sees how many runners are left on base and wonders what if and what could have been. All part of the great game too. And that was watching the Perth Heat in that first series and seeing how professional they went about it in driving pitches to opposite fields and not trying to pull pitches outside. It was just a delight to see, and every time they seemed to have an opportunity they took it, and hence they swept us with some high quality baseball. And that's what the Australian League and the teams chasing them need to be encouraged to follow.
The one thing that Perth Heaters got going, they've got no holes in the lineup. You just keep stacking up the hitters, and you've got to keep mowing them down, and teams don't do that too well.
So although it be early in the game, a very important little time here where Campbell slaps that down the left field line, foul.
That's an SA Power Networks foul ball, yours to take home. Compliments of our naming rights sponsor, SA Power Networks.
So Lofgren looks like he's certainly not on any serious pitch count, so he'll keep on moving on, and there's some activity in the bite pen, so this will be it as Campbell rolls over on that one, and a little bit of PFP that Howard feeds Kim for the third out, and another one of your little fundamental plays, and the score remains at 1-1. We'll be back in a moment for the bottom of the third inning.
One apiece. Now, tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
She got Nancy, and I don't think they were that upset, but she, I said, hey, you can't just say, hey boys, that's it was really, and can you call out for them and say hello to them, and can you do this? And she stormed up, and basically I just sort of looked at her, and we all looked at her with no comment. She moseyed on, sit on my little pad just for 10 minutes. No, I'm good. I've been spoiled for a little while. Hey, don't forget Hero. Play the catches and face plant of the thing in the when he comes up to bat next to obviously before we had nothing, but to see the other night and then to see when he took that catch and he actually, well, I don't know whether he winded himself and it might have just rolled out of his glove. So welcome back, and Lofgren still going at it for the Bandits. Nice tight little ball game here as we move to the bottom of the third. There's Creswell, who I don't think anyone would ever question Jeremy's application and desire for this game. He's an outstanding athlete and baseballer, recently representing Australia at senior level, which was an amazing effort by him. Just been a little bit down, just a fraction down the last.
I spoke to him before the game. He says his hitting's giving him a few problems, but he's going to work on it.
And there's what he does best, and that's try to drive the ball into centre right field, and even that would give him a bit of a good kick, I reckon, just to hit one half on the nose and drive one to the outfield. Always a good thing.
The secret of hitting is hit it where they are.
Centre fielder, Nathan Melendrez.
Nate Melendrez, who we've sort of talked about earlier, that's been a terrific utility, that's playing some centre field and some shortstop in the last game and did a good job. Puts a solid swing on, and he also has got some nippy little feet and gets around those bases pretty quickly. And I'd like both of your thoughts on what you think about how much speed plays in baseball.
well, speed always comes to the park. You may leave your bat home or you might leave the ball home, but you never leave your legs home, and if you've got wheels, you can always use it.
First thing a scout packs is his stopwatch, so that tells you how important speed is.
That was very short and succinct, but it was very clear as to what it means. So to all young athletes out there, to do a bit of extra work and work on your fitness and work on your speed is something that will never not be an advantage for you as Melendrez picks a walk. Josh has been a bit unlucky, sorry Ron. You know, I know his numbers may not be stacking up fantastically, but he's been driving the ball to certainly centre left field, and been advancing some runners and sacrificing. And I mean, although we all look in the book and we're a bit disappointed, he's been going okay as he lifts the ball out to left field.
We're talking about speed. The centre fielder for the Brisbane has got exceptional speed, and he has cut down a lot of base hits. Watched one on Thursday night. He took one out of left fielder's back pocket. So he's really quick, and that makes a big difference in the game as well, being able to run the ball down.
Speaking about that centre fielder, Brian, he's just told the right fielder and left fielder tendencies, and they really know where the ball's going to go before it's even hit.
Yeah, it seems like they've set the field for the hitters, so they've done a little bit of homework on the hitters, and they've moved according to which hitter has come to the plate, and more times than not they've sort of run the ball down pretty quick.
As Lofgren gets a nice little pitch on the outside part of the plate for strike one, so a 2-1 count with 2 out here. Bottom 3. It's a tied ball game at 1-1, and the terrific Steph Welsh in the box. And and Lofgren, if you were watching, used his lovely lefty move to get the runner moving, and he had him cold, but he threw it a little wild for Big Dave Sutherland.
That ball didn't even go close to the first baseman.
That's probably one of the biggest injustices in our game, I guess, with left-handers that can pick guys off at first base willy-nilly, whereas right-handers have to spin and turn. These guys have got a straight shot at it. And if they've got a good move, they make it very difficult to run, and you've got to run on their first movement, like happened there.
So Welsh takes that pitch, and it was a ball. So a 3-0 count with 2 out here. With Steph being the pro that he is, I would suggest we'll be taking this pitch regardless. And I'm wrong again, and he pops it into centre field, or sorry, into deep second base. And he pops that one up, and he completes the 3rd inning. No addition to the score. Remains at 1-1. And one of our great sponsors, boys, is Marshall Batteries, our old mate Johnny Beach, who I'm sure you've stumbled across many a time in our careers. And they've got a great promotion on at the moment with their pink battery for the next few months. They're raising money for the Jane McGrath Foundation, trying to get 50 grand together. So there's only one thing that we say when we get in trouble and we're stuck. Thank you, Ron Harvey. We'll have a short break. We'll see you in a moment.
Now batting is the catcher, Ryan Battaglia.
As we explained to you before, and welcome back, that Kim was on a pitch count, so he's done his job. A wonderful 3 innings, and Adam Crabb replaces him on the mound. And we're sitting up here on slat seats in the grandstand, and a couple of old buddies have got very sore clackers, and they've just about had enough. So I say thank you very much to both of them. It's been a real pleasure having you up here, and hopefully we might hear from you again once or twice.
It'll be an interesting thing to do.
Thanks very much, Andrew. It's been great.
And Brian just said to me, mention, and it was an apt opportunity with Marshall Batteries and the Jane McGrath Foundation, that one of our great friends here in Kevin Greytrex, who lost his fantastic wife Judy to breast cancer not so long ago. So we holler out to the Greytrex family and hope they're rebuilding and life is okay. So thanks again, boys. Thanks for coming up. It's been a real pleasure having you.
Much appreciated. See you, mate.
You can really start doing some drinking. It's Battaglia.
It's not mine, it's over the back. PK, you've got yourself a game ball. On the front seat, I think it is.
So top of the 4th here in this 9-inning game. 1 apiece. 2-2 count. Ryan Battaglia catching tonight. And he gets a curveball. Battaglia gets a little nuffy off the handle a bit, but another flare into centre field for a base hit. Take him any way you can.
Now batting, shortstop, Alan Schoenberger.
So Ryan Schoenberger swinging from the left, facing Crabb. He shapes to bunt. Pitches outside for ball 1. So just about perfect conditions now. Sun just about gone. Pete might, when he gets an opportunity, just have a little scan of the field to see that there's no shadows left. And it is picture perfect conditions. And we've got a ball game to suit. 1-1, top 4, 2-0 count. As that pitch is outside, so 3-0. Shout out to our great mate in John Beach. I'm not sure, Beachy, I suppose you may be playing today, so you might have got home and tuned in. Be good to hear from you. Always drop us an email and say good day. Schoenberger hung around for that, thinking that it may have been a strike, but it was ball 4. He picks a walk.
Bandits, Hiratoshi Onaka, centre fielder, Hiratoshi Onaka, now batting.
So we were talking about Hiro Anaka, and just in between innings, stay tuned and watch your television or your computer screen and see a couple of the greatest catches that you'll ever see that Hiro took on Thursday. Just awesome. So Adam Crabb just having a little radar control problem, and there's a bunt. It's a beautifully executed bunt. I'm going to put some pressure on, and with some great wheels by Anaka, they were never going to get him. So he knocked his 2 men around and got safely to first himself, and that, my friends, is a perfect bunt.
Now batting second baseman, Brad Dutton.
So Brad Dutton with a load of deuces, none out, has a chance to send a message. He gets a curveball for ball one.
Come on, fans, let's get behind Adam Crabb right now. Give him your support. Get those hands together.
Terrific crowd in the Wood Street stand. Got 50 or 60 people in it. And everyone, after completing their duties today, slowly making their way to the baseball tonight. And it's just a beautiful evening. Reading Adam Crabb's mind at the moment, he would be asking what on earth he has to do to get a strike. Feels like he's peppering the plate,
I
but
see you coming over the fence, the security man's coming to throw you out, okay? Stay out of the ground.
so again, curveball, lovely pitch, called strike. So 2-1 count, none out, 1-all ball game. The bases are bulging, and he delivers and smacks one down foul down the first baseline.
Well done, kids. Glad you heard me. Thank you. That foul ball's yours to take home. Compliments of SA Power Networks.
So again, Crabb from the set delivers in a nice slider that Dutton looks back at the umpire and says, "You reckon that would have been a strike?"
I saw you. Stay off the ground, kids. Stay off the ground.
So catcher going through the signals, and it is confirmed, and he delivers and hits a ground ball to shortstop. Creswell to Catebread to Howard for a double play, but Battaglia crosses the plate for the Bandits in the meantime. So for a double play, it costs a run, but a pretty good result for the Bite.
Now batting right fielder, Josh Roberts.
So again, for all the kids at home, with either a runner on third or second and third or full loaded bases, is Roberts hits a bit of a difficult one to Creswell, but he is a class act and makes it look easy as he makes a routine 6-3. We'll have a short break. We'll be right back with you. Again, just to check it out in between innings here.
Okay.
See
Welcome to the ground,
the Anaka
our mascots.
catches from Thursday
Your
night.
very own Chop of the Shark,
There's the first face plant. And I tell you, they are solid panels. So really, you've got to hand it to that man. It's just sheer courage.
Here they go to Thriller, back for the 80s. The mascot stands up.
And the G-Man, the man they call Choi, comes to the plate for the bite and gets one up for ball one. Still, we haven't given away any batting gloves as yet, folks. You're obviously doing really well, and your top drawer must be full of them. Even to donate them to one of the youngsters in your club, or put him in a raffle and get $20 for them. I mean, it's worthwhile. They're Franklin batting gloves. They are superb. I have 3 sets, and I can't give them away. I asked you that on our face page there that we're featuring a famous scoreboard, one that the famous A. Sperling was on one day for the mighty Woodville Cricket Club. Where is it? What is it? As Choi picks a walk on a full count. Come on, Scotty. I know you'd be out there listening. Isn't your young son? He'll need him tomorrow when you take on me with the mighty Glenelg under 12s. You better be on your toes, pal. I'm coming to get you. That pitch again, just a little up on Paquette. This guy has impressed me enormously. Looks like he's just chock full of pop and power, and we're going to get some value for money out of this bloke this season. So 1-1 count, none out. Choi on first for the bite, but the Bandits lead it 2-1. In the bottom of the 4th inning as Paquette takes a strike for a 1-2 count. Again, he has a good
hoof
at that and bounces it off the beautiful scoreboard here at Norwood Oval. We're very, very lucky to have such a magnificent electronic screen that full of colour and life, and it introduces the pitches and the hitters, updates you with the score, the count. It's just great, and he rolls over on that one. Bit of a difficult play, possible double play, but they opt to take the out at first. So that is the end of Paquette. But he advances Choi to second base.
Now batting the first baseman, Justin Howard.
So Justin Howard. Maybe all it takes is one really good swing of the bat to get his confidence up and rebuild his faith in his own swing. Just looks a little tight in the hands and just not quite getting him out there at the ball at the moment. As Lofgren squares it up at 1-1. 1 out. Bottom 4. Brisbane Bandits 2. Adelaide Bite 1. So again, Lofgren, the lefty, piffs one outside for a ball. Sun truly set here. Lights just starting to kick into gear. There's Chuck. Hurls one down. A little low and a little out. For ball 2. On-field announcers do a fantastic job here. And that's outside for ball 4 to Justin Howard.
The runners at first and second.
So a little bit of activity in the Bandits pen with Erasmus preparing to jump on out there. And I've got it right tonight for his folks in their hometown, and I sincerely apologise, as I did before. As the stocky little Justin Erasmus comes out in a little powwow with the group as they all disband to their respective spots. We might take this opportunity to have a short break, and we will be back with you very soon.
Justin Erasmus. Now pitching Justin Erasmus, number 36.
So welcome back with Erasmus delivering the first pitch. Fastball that Lodge liked the look of, but couldn't handle. Strike one. One out here. Bottom four. Bandits have it 2-1 right at this minute. He swings through another one, and stocky little bloke pumping up and giving it all he's got. Gets well ahead of the count at 0-2. And he pops that into centre field, where Anaka, you'd probably catch them in his sleep.
Now batting, the catcher, Dylan Charles.
Real pleasure to be here tonight with you. Seen a really good early ball game, quite tight. Went the Bites' way as it all worked out. You're seeing another good game here with the Bandits with the slender 1-run lead. But the Bite in the bottom of the fourth have responded. Runners on first and second, 2 out. Dylan Child, and he has a good swing at that pitch. No contact for a strike. Again, he locates a good fastball, middle in. Childs fights off and fouls. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 out. Bottom four. Justin Erasmus. Set, delivers, and same deal. Nicely located again. Just trying to get in as much as he can. Very important little moment as he delivers again, and that's a little up and a little out, but he's way ahead of the count. He evens it up at 2-2. From the set, delivers again. It's a breaking pitch in the dirt that nicely supported by Battaglia. Knocks it down and just pushes it in front of the plate. Again, another example to all kids watching as a catcher. Staying low and dropping quickly to the knees. Hovering those shoulders in and keeping the chest plate directed at the plate. Trying to keep the ball just in front of you as both runners take off, and that's a ball outside. So that loads the bases. Brings to the plate Jeremy Creswell.
Now batting, the shortstop, Jeremy Creswell.
And regardless of the form he might be displaying, I'm backing him here to knock one into centre right and score a couple of runs. He has a good heave-ho at that one. Snicks it to the backstop. Sometimes, as I said, it takes one swing and it all comes together. Felt like you know yourself when you're just not swinging it well, and you know yourself when you regain some composure and feel like you're on top of your game again. And I've got a feeling Jeremy might be feeling it. So Erasmus from the set position delivers, and he drives one along the ground to second base. But a routine little play on a 4-3. And I will eat my words as I have a little swig on some Cool Ridge water, and we'll take a short break. Phil Adamson, as you are the only man responding to me at the moment, I just want to be as encouraging as I possibly can. And I've got to encourage you one more time, please. It's not the clapperboard, and that was a good call, that's our motto. But there's a scoreboard that has all of our sponsors within the scoreboard. Where does that scoreboard come from? What ground? What scoreboard is it? As that ball's hit long and hard to Melendrez out at centre field by lead-off hitter for the Bandits, Cody Clark, for 1 out. I'm begging of you.
David Sutherland.
Thought I'd have a few of my usual viewers at home that would always email us and let us know, but they're either being a bit ignorant or being a bit hard to get along with, which is okay, you know, I can handle that. Look for a sneaky, beautiful pair of blue Franklin batting gloves. Or red. Or whatever, black. Good little prize, folks. Stick with me. Live baseball at the10thinnings.com.au. What scoreboard is on our face page? Sutherland hits a ground ball to Welsh, who takes it smoothly and whips one over to first base for an out.
And then brings to the plate the third baseman, Logan Wade.
Okay, Phil, now I'm sort of starting half to get it that, you know, you're perhaps not familiar with our magnificent grounds here in Adelaide, being Chris's dad, and welcome to you and hope you're well, and you boys doing a damn good job, so should be proud and happy. Think. I'll get him to go in and he can go and grab his pair of batting gloves on your behalf if you can snatch it. They're there for the taking, folks. And if 3 of you guess it right, I'll give a pair to all 3 of you. What scoreboard is it? Perhaps because I put my name to it, you didn't recognise it, but it's had Sir Garfield Sobers' name on it, it's had Barry Richards' name on it, his local players, Don Bradman, Les Pavel. Do I need to go on? Joel Garner. Some amazing cricketers. Oh, there's another little clue. My phone should be going off and it's hardly moving.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're very proud to announce that this evening we have in attendance from the Adelaide Oval, Glenelg's former great catcher, Ian Chappell and Mark Taylor. Both of them great fans of baseball in this country. And to join for a great Australian catcher as well. Leading the ground, leading the tank, is Adam Crabb. And now pitching.
Just got told that Ian Chappell and Mark Tubby Taylor are here in the crowd. This is absolutely fantastic. 2 dead set legends. As there's another pitching change for the Bite, as you would be seeing that Adam Crabb leaves the game and Wilson Lee, who did a little bit of relief a night or 2 ago, comes back out for his second appearance in this series. So we might take this chance and have a quick break. We'll see you in a moment. So welcome back, everyone. Wilson Lee with my very astute judge and partner Peter Wyatt. A little bit anxious behind the camera at the minute with his local player and Wilson Lee of the mighty Woodville Senators here in Adelaide. Taking the mound, and he's just not sure which way this is going to go. Willie's been throwing the ball pretty hard, just a little wayward in his warm-up, and started it off with a couple of balls here, and that ball is driven to centre field with 2 out, and Wilson gets the job done. Hello to the Lee family in Darwin. If you're tuning in, be nice to hear from you. We'll have a short break and we'll be back with you real soon. See you in a minute.
With a Farmers Union product.
Fans, I'm here. Time for the Farmers Union.
Gather up there, ready for the mascot race.
So welcome back. Justin Erasmus still rolling along for the Bandits, trying to protect this one-run lead they have here in the bottom of the 5th. And Mark Montgomery, thank you so much for emailing, but it is not the Norwood cricket scoreboard. There is only one scoreboard in Adelaide, really. That famous, magnificent board. I'll try to spell it for you in a minute and see if that can help.
No, didn't make it. Go on with the guy.
And Mr. Mark Montgomery. Thank goodness, the Adelaide Oval scoreboard. You are a very, very astute and wise man. And you have yourself a pair of Franklin batting gloves. All I need to know is your... Well, no, look, I don't need your name and address, okay, because that perhaps breaks a little privacy thing. But if you mention the 10th innings, and I'll mention to the great Grant McCarran down there, you go into MC Sportswear and mention that you are a winner of the batting gloves. He will gladly pass them over to you. So well done, Mark. I've still got 2 other sets. And if I can think of some very simple questions, we'll get rid of them tonight. There's Melendrez. Hits that onto Cooper's Hill.
Yours to keep, compliments of SA Power Network. Don't forget, kids, if you want to be in the Diamond Dash, head on over to the light pole in the right field.
Giving away a set of gloves.
That pitch was up and in. Melendrez picks a walk.
Nathan Melendrez takes a walk from first. That brings to the plate the second baseman, Josh Beckred.
So we're halfway here in this great game of baseball at Norwood Oval between the Bandits and the Bite, and he's used a drag bunt, Josh Cakebread, to push Melendrez to second base, doing a job for his team.
Bringing to the plate, Stefan Roche.
So Stephen Welsh with a runner on second and 1 out here, looking to pick him up and tie this ball game up, and he takes a first pitch strike from Justin Erasmus. That pitch was inside on Welsh, and he fights it off and hits a little dribbler to the first base coach. So Erasmus from the set delivers. Welsh has popped that up. Shortstop Schoenberger takes charge and says that's mine, and he swallows it for 2 out.
There he is,
Come on. So G-Man Choi with 2 out, runner on second, goes inside out and just lifts one over the top of the third baseman. Melendrez scores, and the ball game is tied up at 2 apiece in the bottom of the fifth. Paquette gets one up and in. A little bit of chin music too. So get off the plate, big fella. I own part of that. As they set up outside and he delivers. Hits the glove. Tugly a little bit worried about the runner. Found himself moving up as receiving, but it was still called strike by the Chief. Again, and has another mighty swing at that. New York native, Ethan Paquette. It's very accomplished and just gets a great curveball from Erasmus and just freezes him. Strike 3, and that's the end of the 5th inning. The bite, snitch one back, tie it up at 2 apiece. We'll be back in a moment with the top of the 6th inning. See you soon. So Wilson Lee continues on the mound for the bite. More activity in the pen with Reed Brown doing a little bit of work. As Willie gets one inside to even up the count at 1-1. Battaglia pops that up to Howard. Just got a little flary pop-up. Very good first out for the Adelaide Bite. And Alan Schoenberger, who's hasn't long joined this Bandits organisation, takes a high fastball for ball one. Delivers a pitch up and out for ball two. You're sitting at home and you're thinking, gee, maybe a night at the baseball might be okay. I think you're missing out on something. It's a great night, terrifically run here by Executive Officer Nathan Davison and his Mike Murray and their awesome field staff, and the announcers here with Jim Manning and Pigsy and the crew. Really is a team effort here at Norwood Oval. All of the amazing volunteers, Johnny Cooch on the front gate every night, Brian Cakebread and Ron Harvey raking bases and watering and tidying, just everything to make it as presentable as possible. And when Norwood Oval is in full swing and lovely and green like it is at the moment, it's just a pleasure to be sitting up the top here and watching. Congratulations to everyone involved with the bite and all the catering that's done here. Lovely food, nice cold beer, more importantly just great fun for the kids. Many activities between innings, little prizes and Gangnam style as that ball's driven into right field, and superb attempt there by Ethan Paquette. Read it off the bat, it always looked like it was going to fall a bit short, but he used all his athleticism to have a forward lunge at it, and he just couldn't quite take the catch, but kept it to the minimum for a base hit. So Anaka, who I think I've talked enough about already, I'll let his bat do the talking this time. Swinging from the right side, he goes a little inside out.
A foul ball, George Pink, compliments SA Power Networks.
We always think we've got the best seat in the house up here, and you're dead right. We get to see quality players like Hero and the crew. Get to see some young fellas plying their trade and playing against men and in the Australian Baseball League. It's a very multicultural league. We encourage it. It inspires us. And it just adds to the flavour of the game. So 2-2, top six, runner on first, one out with Anaka in the box. He gets a pitch outside for a 2-1 count. So Lee little move to first base. As with most pitchers, they never really show off their best until they need it. And he goes again. Lee delivers. Nonaka cracks one out to right field. Paquette looking really comfortable out there. Good to see. So 2 out. Top 6. 2 apiece. Good little ball game brewing. Just have a quick check with my emails and see whether there's any more lucky winners. All we've got at the moment is an accounts firm sending Pete a bill, so I'm sure he'll be really happy with that one. So that pitch eludes Dylan Child. Just enough to allow Schoenberger to move to second base and put himself in scoring position. There's another shot down the line to Welsh, but he's a class act. Makes a tough play look easy. And that retires the Bandits in the top of the 6th. Score remains at 2-all. I've got a message here from Mark Montgomery, who was the winner of our batting gloves, and he thanks us and then says please give them to the best team player for your under-12s tomorrow. Enjoying the game and thank you. And right back at you, Mark, it's an absolute pleasure. I thank you a heap. The kids would absolutely love it, so you're a champion. Thank you very much. We'll have a break, be back in a moment.
Together we can beat the influence to tackle binge.
So welcome back, and Justin Erasmus doing a terrific job for the Bandits. Pitching to Justin Howard and starts him off with the ball. And gets that one inside for ball 2. I've got 2 more set of batting gloves and I'm obviously eager to give them away. So the first 2 emails I received with the correct answer. And the question is, who did Tony Harris play baseball here in the local league? Where did he start his career? What club? Was it Sturt? Perhaps it was Golden Grove. As Howard picks a walk. So there should be some people out there pouncing on their emails. Live baseball at the 10thinnings.com.au. I got 2 sets of batting gloves. Just asking to be slipped onto someone's beautiful little hands while they're wielding some serious stick. Nice pitch by Erasmus on Ben Lodge. So 2 runs apiece here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Ben Lodge at the plate. 1 strike on him as he squares to bunt. And that pitch is a little up and out. So with Howard on first, Lodge squares to bunt again and gets another pitch up and out. Again, as a little instruction manual for the youngsters watching out there in a bunt situation. You throw a strike, you play the game. He's giving himself up. So really knuckle down and just throw a good strike, and you field, or hope one of your fielders field the ball and take the out that they're providing you. Don't overcomplicate it. Don't get too carried away. Just knuckle down and throw a strike. Because as a hitter, your object is to only bunt a strike. So back to the ball game with Erasmus on a 2-1 count. And he delivers. Gets that pitch nicely located. So it was a strike, but location was everything there. Inside, he could only chop it down at his feet foul. So that takes the bunt out of the play now, you would imagine. With the 2-2 count, none out. So now his object would be to try to hit the ball behind the runner. See if he can push Howard around. Another high, hard pitch by Erasmus.
Despite the missing right on the scoreboard, it's a full count.
So again, from the set, Erasmus is Lodge. Takes a good swing at that pitch.
Down the hill.
Lifts it high onto Cooper's Hill.
It's a very high foul ball. Your speed complemented SA Power Network.
And Justin ends up walking Ben Lodge. So he worked himself out of a position, and then it ended up they get a similar sort of result with none out here in the bottom of the 6th. 2 apiece, the Bandits and the Bite.
Come on, look at you, one look at the screen.
Justin Erasmus leading the game for the Brisbane Bandits. Now
So welcome back everyone, and to the Searle sitting at home. Your boy Ryan, he's out there and he's ready to go. And I tell you what, he's got it in front of him just at the minute. None out, bottom 6, 2 apiece. Runners on first and second. Dylan Child at the plate. So Ryan Searle, and they're bunting again. And he hammers a fastball down there that was too quick for Child to react as he would like to bunt the ball. Just blew on by. The infielder suspecting they will bunt again, as they are. And Child bunts through one. Strike 2. So a very intriguing time of the game here. Opportunity for the bite to blow it open a little as Child shapes to bunt again, but bunts foul, so he becomes an automatic out. Coaching staff decided to roll him on through and see if they could get the job done, but not to be on this occasion.
Now batting, shortstop, Jeremy Cresswell.
So Creswell, who's looked like he's pulled himself back into a little bit of form, goes first pitch again and a little inside out as he splices it down the right field line. Foul.
Yours to be from SA Power Network.
Again, Searle delivers. Nice pitch again. Just a little low for ball 1. So 1-1 count as Searle delivers again, and again a beautifully located pitch. Just had Creswell swinging and missing. Searle delivers one down outside. Even the count at 2-2. We have a gentleman that sits near us most occasions here at the baseball, that a great historian here in Adelaide, and has just put together a book of 60 years of history at Norwood Oval. So I'll try to find out a little bit more about it for any interested people. I'm sure there should be lots. So the count remains at 2-2 with 1 out here. Bottom 6 runners at first and second. Searle again delivers, and he goes to, hits a ground ball to Dutton at second base, who tags the runner going through, which was Ben Lodge, and then fires Creswell out at first base to retire the bite. No addition to the score. We'll be back in a moment. So back we come to the beautiful Norwood Oval with Josh Roberts. Takes an inside pitch for ball one. And he pops that to left field. Ben Lodge camps himself under it and takes the catch.
Now batting the designated hitter, number 37, Cody Clark.
Cody Clark, who we've talked about in glowing terms on many occasions, steps to the plate to see perhaps if one swing of the bat he might be able to change the little perspective of it and put his side a run ahead. As Lee delivers up and out. So a 2-0 count on the very dangerous hitting Cody Clark as he prepares to accept a pitch from Will Lee, and he hammers one. And he has done what I said, and perhaps I should have shut my mouth, because he smacked one over the left field fence for a solo bomb, and exactly what he has done is put his team one run ahead. He has been hard to stop, this man, and you don't lose your quality as time goes on. He's just got better and better, and as they all get up and give him a rousing high five, the Bandits take the lead 3-2 in the top of the 7th. And Wilson responds with hitting the next batter in Dave Sutherland. So he ventures to first on a hit by pitch ball. So Logan Wade. A little up and out, so the leash will be very short on Wilson. They've just got to get Reed Brown warm enough in the pen, and I would suggest they will be making a move as that ball's up the middle. And Kate Bread very unluckily had to go to ground to take that ball up the middle. It was a double play opportunity, but he just could not get the ball out of his glove. And his last resort on his behind was to flip one to first base, but Wade was too quick for that as well. So everything, little turns are going the right way for the Bandits at the moment.
Now batting, the fielder, Andrew Campbell.
So Andrew Campbell now to do a job for his team, and he smashes one to centre left. That is long, hard, and it is gone. So a 3-run home run to Andrew Campbell quietens the crowd here and has the Bandits roaring in their little pen. And how quickly things can change. And one of the aspects of baseball which is very interesting about pitching changes, that the old adage that you can never take them out too early, but you also have to be organised and everything has to fall into place to have your pitcher warm and ready to go. And if he's not, you just got to wait that maybe that extra hitter, and that's what they did there, and they paid the ultimate price. So the Bandits blast their way to a 6-2 lead here with one out in the top of the 7th.
Now pitching.
And Reed Brown comes to the hill. I'll take this opportunity to have a short break, and we'll be back with you real soon. So Reed Brown as Ryan Battaglia comes to the plate for the Bandits, looking to add a little bit more insurance. He starts it up with a couple of balls. As I mentioned to you, that Gordon has put together this fantastic book of 60 years of night baseball at Norwood Oval, and the names in there are incredible. The dynasties of families as Battaglia take to walk. Really is. There's just some magnificent photography shots in there, some fantastic stories, and as I said, done by a historian in Gordon Penhall. The book will cost you $35 if you're interstate and you're interested. It'll cost you $45 including postage and handling, and if you just want to make some inquiries about it, you get onto him at Penhall, PENHALL, at adam.com.au. It is well worth a look. I had a flick through tonight and it was exciting to see just old black and whites and colour shots. Days gone by where in the 50s they had 20-odd thousand people here at Norwood Oval in just some magnificent times. The bullpen just not doing the job for the bite at the minute. But maybe we're underestimating the might of the Bandits hitting after a couple of long bombs. First by Cody Clark with a solo, followed up by Andrew Campbell with a 3-run blast over straightaway centre field to give his team a 6-2 lead. So Reed Brown has also made an appearance also through this series. Tries to get him inside, but misses. Brown fires inside again and walks Schoenberger. So what are the top of the 7th? They started with a pop fly to left field, solo shot, hit by pitch ball, single up the middle that we couldn't get an out at second base. 3-run shot by Andrew Campbell. Battaglia walks, Schoenberger walks, and the nifty Anaka comes to the plate. Harris not letting this get out of hand, or any more out of hand than it is at the minute. He settles Brown down. Sorry, Wally Marks. Settles Reed Brown down. Just a quick little plug again for all of our wonderful sponsors. Duct Air Air Conditioning. Drop into any Duct Air Air Conditioning outlet and get a great deal, a free upgrade to the university tested fully labelled Energy Smart system on any purchase of a ducted air conditioning system from any of their fantastic agents. Mention Mutz or Tony Mazzini or the 10th inning. They're ready for you. It's summer, it's hot. Get on board. Duct Air Air Conditioning, great supporters of ours. It's Brown with a 1-1 count on Anaka. So Anaka in his way, when especially from the left they dip out of the box and still with an almighty powerful swing of the bat. So hello again to all you Brisbane viewers, and I'm sure the jimmies or the champagne will be flowing at the moment as you've struck back hard in this game 4 as you were trailing 2-1 in the series and giving yourself every opportunity to level it up at 2 apiece. Still a little way to go. Obviously the Bite as the home side will always have the last opportunity. So there's a little way to go as Brown delivers, and he can't get out from inside. He just keeps hammering inside, and some successful, some not so successful. 2-2 count, 1 out. Runners on first and second. So Brown delivers, and Anaka slaps one long and deep to left field. And Ben Lodge with Inspector Gadget arms as he was going backwards near the fence. Raised the Inspector Gadget and took it beautifully. So Anaka got a superb piece of the ball. Perhaps with the depth, runners might have been thinking of tagging, and only because he was backing back and off balance when he was taking the catch, but not to be. So Brad Dutton, who's struck back into some form, hardly got anything on it and nearly hit a home run down the right field line. Only missed by a couple of metres.
Made available for the young fans out there, so yours big compliment to SA Power Network.
So the Bandits, as they did last night, come alive in the late innings, and they've taken a good lead. And Dutton swings through a change-up. Nicely disguised pitch by Reed Brown. Delivers again, and he's ripped this one around the corner, right through the hole. Tuggley is waved home. There's a play at the plate, and with a fantastic throw from Ben Lodge, a fantastic 7-2 play. They quell this inning at a very important time to just keep it within sight. I'll have a look at the throw, the replay here that we're valuably got. A superb play by Ben Lodge. We'll have a short break. We'll see you back for the bottom of the 7th as we take the 7th inning stretch. So welcome back, everyone. Searle still going and would be feeling pretty happy with himself as that ball's driven hard by Melendrez, but straight to second base for a routine 4-3. Now, my little quiz or my little question that I had out there, Sam Dixon. And I know you, Sam. You're a winner, pal. You're a winner. So you jump into MC Sportswear. I'll tell them to expect you and go and snatch yourself a superb set of batting gloves. But maybe you should be worrying more about pitching and perhaps giving them to your brother to do a bit of hitting. But I know you love to hit too, Sam, so well done, mate. And Ron Jacobs, who said the Sturt Baseball Club. Unfortunately, Ron, that's not correct. Still looking for one more. I got one more set of gloves. So who wants it? One set of batting gloves to go. Who did the great Tony Harris start his baseball career for here in the mighty SABL? Maybe it was Northern Districts. He did live north, I think, for a little while. East Torrens, perhaps, was it? Who wants them? They're there for the begging. Wasn't that long ago. Playing with such luminaries as Ziggy Zabolski and Gary Higgy, Aris Gatudis, Mark Juice Moore, all teammates of his. That ball's ripped around the corner by Welsh. A little down and in. So Searle to Welsh, little up. So evens the count at 2-2. Welsh drives that ball to left field and comfortably taken out there, and that ends the 7th dig. No addition to the score. Brisbane Bandits 6, Adelaide Bite 2. Have a short break and we will be back in a minute.
Future triumphs.
So welcome back, everyone. Brisbane Bandits leading at 6-2 here in the top of the 8th. Quick opportunity to plug my own business, Sterling Office Solutions, specialising in office fit outs. Great job today at Bridgestone head office, did a complete first floor fit out. Screen systems, desking, mobile drawer units. So nothing too big or too small for Sterling Office Solutions. Jump on the website to see some contact details. And of course page 6, which is Peter Wyatt, my great friend and partner, who's a graphic designer and a webmaster. So if you're in the market for either services, and you can't afford to be without a website these days, give Pete a call, and for a very competitive price, Pete will set you up, do all your graphics, and you will be in business. So back to the baseballs, Reed Brown to Josh Roberts. Takes a strike. So a 1-2 count on Josh as Brown delivers, and he has a decent hack at that. Hits the pelmet of the grandstand and bounces back into the crowd. And kids hunt it down and they can take these balls home, which is a terrific thing that the bite hierarchy here allow. And again, he gets a pitch outside that he just leans on and hits it into the stands. So Brown gets one in on his hands. He like the look of out of the hand, but it just kept coming at his hands, and he just fights it off with a little foul just to keep this at bat alive. As I said before, we got, with the test being here in Adelaide, we've got Ian Chappell and Mark Taylor being hosted by Pat Kelly. And Josh just wanted to shake him up a bit, and he poked one into the shark tank just to stir him around a bit. You know, Chardonnay set, and he has clobbered that ball centre right, and it is gone. So the Bandits are on fire in the late innings here at Norwood Oval, touching up a little bit of an bite pen that just hasn't quite been able to find the mark. So Nick Hutchings gets up again, and he might do a bit of late innings work and get some more experience here for the Adelaide Bite. Recently signed by the Pittsburgh Pirates, young 17-year-old. So things unravelling here a little bit for the Bite as the Bandits take a 7-2 lead. There's a pop-up. Creswell just cruises underneath it and takes a routine, or what looked a routine pop fly.
Now batting, first baseman,
We can't thank our sponsors enough. We also can't thank the boys that come up here and add some flavour to this broadcast. Craig Watts, Mark Haylock, Pat Kelly spent some time up here. Brian Cakebread, Ron Harvey, all great baseball people, extremely knowledgeable. For me to sit alongside of them, it's an absolute honour and pleasure. It's Dave Sutherland. Just pokes that one round the corner, foul. So a cold 0-2 count here on Big Goofy Sutherland. As Brown delivers and he smacks another one around the corner, and that's dangerous for the kids. As much to the on-field announcers discussed, that another lad jumps onto the ground to pick that ball up, which is a bit of a no-no. Then we'll see if it happens again, which I'm sure it will, and we'll get a severe reprimand. So still with a 1-2 count, he locates outside, and Lodge camps under this one at left field and takes it comfortably. We thank our Brisbane listeners and watchers. Hope you've enjoyed the last few days and watching your team compete hard. We'll see you again at some stage again, which will be great. Our other viewers around Australia and more importantly around the world, we thank you for tuning in, and hope you've had some fun and enjoyed the coverage. My partner Peter Wyatt, tireless work is setting up here and getting all of his everything in place to produce this. It takes a lot of time and effort, and he does an absolutely incredible job. And our cohort in John Russell, who's joined us and doing all the technical stuff to keep you informed of the game, also doing a great job. So to all of our team here at the 10th inning, We're proud as punch. So Logan Wade. He's picked a hit up tonight, at least one. Prepares to accept from Brown. He catches the outside edge of the plate and umpire pulls the trigger on him and says au revoir. And that's the top of the 8th completed. The Bandits 7, Adelaide Bite 2. Have a short break and we'll be back in a second. G-Man Choi strides to the plate to the sound of Gangnam Style, who of course Psy made famous, the happy smiley Korean. Is that pitch a little wild from Searle? Just checks the end of his finger, he must have just slipped a little. Doing a mighty powerful job out there for his team, the Bandits, as he looks to potentially close this one out. He might go the distance, no activity in the pen, and holding 5, and a big strong kid. Why wouldn't he have those aspirations right at the moment? Catches the outside part of the plate and he's throwing the ball pretty heavy. Choi check swings, picks a walk.
So
it's never over till it's over, and a little 2-run shot by Paquette here will shake things up a little bit and keep us interested as he prepares to accept a pitch from Searle that hammers inside, nearly a shin buster. Oh, and that one smack bang in the middle of the back, and Ryan has just lost his radar just a fraction at the minute.
He enjoys staying on second and even with the 4 on first.
So that would have hurt right in the middle of the bag. He'll be sporting some nice branded stitch marks. He wakes up in the morning, get that ice pack out. Again, he misses outside. So Howard from Searle, and that's better. Strike 1. 1-1 count, none out, runners on first and second. Searle puts one down the middle, but a little bit up. According to the man in black, and we used to call him the man in blue, but sporting some new uniforms, a new look for the umpires. Doing a good job, and Howard belts that into left field. It hit too well. Andrew Campbell swarmed in on it and kept it all to the minimum. So Ben Lodge picked up a important base hit in Melbourne with runners on to hit a double and score a couple of runners. Would be liking to do exactly the same thing here, and he takes a pitch up high from Searle. That is fouled.
It's a foul ball. Yours Pete Compliments of SA Power Networks.
So again to Lodge, and that's a little up and out. So 2 balls, 1 strike on Ben Lodge. And Searle delivers, and it's chopped foul. Didn't hear from any of our overseas listeners tonight, which is most unusual. We normally get a bit of a shout out from them, sitting on a balcony in Germany, or from Lex in Sweden, the big Ronnie Duthie, or Fuses, or anyone for that matter. Be nice to finish the night on a high note with a nice email from one of our internationals. Searle, lovely hard slider that Lodge snicks to the backstop. He has got a hold of this pitch to left field, but just a little bit too much altitude. Campbell takes the catch, but that's a sacrifice fly to Ben Lodge. Lovely at bat and a good result for the youngster. So the Bite put their second run on the board. With the Bandits with 12 hits and 7 runs. Just been too good thus far in this game 4. Looking to even this series up at 2 apiece if they can get the job done. And Ryan Searle is doing his utmost to make that happen. Swing and a miss from Dylan Child. Chops that one to shortstop. And a lovely play by Schoenberger coming in on the ball. And Brian, you're dead right, mate, from Brisbane. And again, thank you for your lovely words. And for a man living in Brisbane, telling me where Tony Harris played, you're a very clever man. Obviously a whole lot cleverer than a few of our SA people here. And I know you don't want the prize, and that's very nice of you. So if I can't find another winner, if I have your permission, I'd love them to give him to one of my young under-12s tomorrow who are playing some great baseball at the moment. We've got a big game. And that ball was a routine little pop-up to David Sutherland by Creswell at first base, which is easily taken, and the Bite put one more run on the board. They trail 7-3 as we go into the top of the ninth. We will see you after a very short break. So welcome back, everyone. We are the 10th inning, and we are proud as punch to be bringing this live stream of baseball here at Norwood Oval with the Bandits. Dealing it to the Bite in Game 4 here. Nick Hutchings, who, as I mentioned to you before, has come to the mound for the Bite. This young man just recently signed by the Pittsburgh Pirates. Getting the ball up around in the high 80s, which is a great accomplishment for anyone, leave alone a young man. As Roberts pops that into centre left, and Melendrez comes across, as good centre fielder should, takes charge and takes the catch.
Now batting the catcher, Ryan Battaglia.
Battaglia has a big swing and a miss at that one. So Hutchings again delivers just a little low. The ball one. So 1-1 count. Ryan Battaglia done a good job behind the dish tonight. Any win got to put give a lot of respect to the battery, and the battery doesn't function without the catcher doing his job and filling him full of confidence, and Ryan's done that tonight in a really good job as he just gets jammed inside, and Howard comes in and takes a catch from a little infield fly from Battaglia. So 2 out here in the top of the 9th. It's Alan Schoenberger. He's had a pretty good night. Couple of hits, couple of walks, nearly a perfect night out for a shortstop. Made some excellent plays. And the Banditos would be pretty happy to have him on their roster. An accomplished first baseman. And he just gets one over the top of Creswell at shortstop for another base hit. Even better, he says. 3 green pencils for the 9. A nice email here from Shane Andressen, sitting home watching the baseball here at Fairview Park. Would love to be here. Quick plug for your business, mate. Is that hard surface, cutting and cleaning? My eyes are pretty shot, mate, so I hope I haven't made a hash of that, but you can contact Shane at shane@hardsurface.com.au. Maybe you could tell me a little bit about what you do, Shane, just in very brief, just quickly, so I can just pop it out there for you as Hutchings delivers and gets Anaka inside out, and he pokes it into the stand. So to Shane and Dylan, nice to hear from you. Just quickly let me know what's happening with your business, and I'll give it a further plug.
Okay, the Twitter prize winner is Anne Burke. Anne, if you can make your way to the merchandise stand at the end of the game for your prize, Anne Burke is the Twitter winner tonight. Don't forget.
So Hutchings doing a pretty good job, but he ends up walking Anaka.
Remember, whenever you're tweeting, it's at Adelaide Bite, and we always like to go right. And now the second baseman, Frank Sutton.
So from an Adelaide point of view, a little bit disappointing in the latter innings, but from the Brisbane Bandits, they have fired up as they did last night, and they're a bit stiff to go down by a run, but they've kept on coming as good teams do, and they've just been a little bit too good in this game thus far. So Hutchings with runners on first and second delivers, and Dutton fouls that to Cooper's Hill. So we carry on here with Hutchings delivering to Dutton. A big curveball that he doesn't get on top of. Leaves it up high for a ball. So 1 ball, 2 strike count. Top 9, the Bandits 7, Adelaide Bite 3. And he fires that in, and that's hit Dutton right in the elbow. Nasty at the back of the elbow. Unintentional, but wow, that would hurt. And the big Brad Dutton's a big unit, and even he is anguishing in pain as he wanders up to first base. He's still holding his arm. Hope nothing too much more than a bit of bad bruising for Brad.
Now batting is Josh Roberts.
Still feeling it, poor old Brad, but not far to go, and he can go and put an ice pack on and put his feet up for a little while as Hutchings delivers. And that pitch by Roberts is hit to Lodge. He takes the catch. So Nick Hutchings does the job for the Adelaide Bite. Keeps them in a remote chance of stealing this game, but they'll have to be pretty good as they trail by 4 runs. We'll be back in a moment. Welcome back here to Norwood Oval. Crowd's still pretty active, considering. And Ryan Searle comes out with his flamethrower and starts it up again. Bandits 3 outs away. The Bite need 4 runs to kick us on into a 10th inning as Melendres rolls over on that one. Oh, superb effort at third base by Logan Wade. It was right in his hole, and he tumbled as he took the ball, and in his attempt to get Melendres out at first base, he ends up throwing it in the dirt, and Goofy couldn't quite handle it. So Melendres gets to second base on a wild throw from Wade. Hey, when you're up by 4 and you're playing with some confidence, nice to see him having a crack. For Searle again, and Cake Red fouls that ball to the backstop. Searle from the set. Gets Catebread swinging straight through one. Probably the difference between the two teams, apart from 10 hits, has been the bullpen, but I suppose that has something to do with it as well. So not to be caught short, as that's a foul tip that was in the glove of Battaglia, but he just couldn't quite squeeze and hold on. So Catebread lives to see another day. Just got Nathan Crawford up the Bandits, just in case this goes a little bit longer than they would be expecting, but they'll go as long and as hard as they can with Ryan Searle, who Catebread dispatches into the bite bullpen area for a foul. So 1 ball, 2 strike count, none out, runner on second for the bite. And that pitch is up and well taken by Catebread. So right in the heart of the Adelaide bite lineup here, so if it's ever going to happen, it must happen now. Searle delivers, and Catebread again just being a good hitter and fighting everything off. Fouls that one again. And again he delivers a breaking pitch. Superbly executed. Strikeout for Ryan Searle. So Stephen Welsh comes to the plate, takes the ball from Ryan Searle. Searle throws a heavy fastball and a good breaking pitch. Getting the job done here as he gets Welsh swinging through one for strike one. Crowd hanging in there, hoping for a minor miracle right at this moment. The Bandits 2 outs away from sealing their second win on the road here, and even it up at 2 apiece in this 4-game series. Whenever you're on the road, if you go 50-50, I'd say you've got to be pretty happy. And again, Welsh smacks that foul just near the Wood Street stand here at Norwood Oval, home of the mighty Redlegs, premiers this year here in the SANFL competition. And their park is looking an absolute treat. Searle delivers, and a superb pitch again. Another breaking pitch. He backdoored him, and he just got Steph Welsh looking. G-Man hits a hard, cracking ball to Dave Sutherland, but he picks it up, rolls into first, touches up, and claims victory for the Brisbane Bandits. It's been a terrific series here. They share it at 2 apiece. We've enjoyed your company. We are the 10th inning. Stay tuned with us. We've enjoyed your company. We'll see you soon. Au revoir.